The past, the present, and future growth are all speaking to us at once today. We can feel it in the way old stories begin to surface, the way clarity comes through, the way opportunity rises, if we're willing to hear it. This is a karmic moment. We get to rewrite the path we've been walking, to understand what we've outgrown, and to open ourselves up to the possibility of something more. The doors are open. But today, they open wider. They open wider when we speak, when we listen, and when we choose to believe in more. So join me as we gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy. By the end of our time together, it's my intention that you now have the insight, the wisdom, the tools to go forward with clarity, with a confidence, with love. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. I send it back tenfold to you. I cannot tell you still, it's like a brand new experience showing up for you every day again. I get the tingle, I get the want, I get the craving, I get the, so all that has been like added to my life tenfold. Unfortunately, I've got a lot of other priorities happening at the same time. So, boy, trying to juggle it all is it needs some restructuring. Absolutely. Understand what the priorities are and move from there. And you are a priority. So, welcome to your daily focus, September the 12th, 2025. So, we have the 12 energy today. The 12 energy. It's about being in the moment. It's about, being in the moment. Absolutely. Understanding where we need to surrender ourselves, understanding what we have control over and what we need control over. Looking at our problems with a little bit more logic infused into it and a little less emotion. We see it differently. Watch it like a movie, where those feelings aren't necessarily in play. And listen to the monologue. Watch the action. 1 + 2 is 3, so transformation and new beginnings and curiosity leads the heart. And if we look at the daily numerology, we would have a 9 plus a 3 plus a 9, and that gives us a 21. So we get to the 3 again. 2 + 1 is 3, but in a different way. Once was the 12 today, but it's also coming at us from the 21, which is about closure and completions, tying up loose ends, knowing that there is something marvelous and wonderful and spectacular right around the corner awaiting your presence. But first you must deal with some things so that you are not taking them forward with you, allowing them to weigh you down, allowing them to burden you or to limit you in some way, in some form, so that you can experience a transformation, so that you can curiously lead your heart to where you want to go, what you want to do, who you want to become. We're always becoming. By the way, okay? Whether you want it to happen or not, we're always becoming. It's you taking charge of how you are becoming. You putting it into focus rather than letting the days go in and out and with barely a notice rather than the task at hand. Okay, Sun is in Virgo. Moon is in Taurus. Moon is in Taurus until roughly 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then it'll move into Gemini. Now, the Sun sextiles Jupiter early this morning, and we talked about that at length yesterday, in yesterday's horoscope, daily focus. I still call it the daily focus. It's not called that anymore, but, old dog, new tricks. You know how it goes. Today we experience Mercury in sextiling Jupiter as well. Tomorrow, we're going to experience the Sun and Mercury conjuncting. And all of this is happening with the South Node joining into the conversations. We never talk about the South Node. It's always about the North Node. Whenever we're talking, it's the North Node. Okay, because the South Node is kind of like the echo of where we've been most of the time. It just hums quietly in the background saying, did it, done it, got the t-shirt. But when the Sun and Mercury cross it, the spotlight hits our old patterns, the things we've carried, the cycles we've repeated, the stories that feel safe but no longer fit. It shows us what burdens us, what traps us, what limits us. And it reminds us that we don't have to bring everything with us into our next chapter. There are things that we can let go of. So as it connects with Mercury and Jupiter, the invitation to speak it, see it, and release it, so that growth can feel lighter, freer, more aligned. Mercury sextile Jupiter is a very sacred conversation. Okay, the Sun has just crossed over the South Node. Mercury is brushing with it too. I think it just crossed over as well. Or it does today. And together they're talking to Jupiter. This is our chance. This is our chance to release some of those old stories we play over and over in our head, or repeat over and over in our life. It's a chance to speak our truth. Step into growth that feels supported, that feels nurturing. Because the doors are open. The Sun sextiling Jupiter this morning may feel like doors opening, optimism, expansion, the chance to say yes to an aligned opportunity. And Mercury sextile Jupiter brings the same supportive current, but now through words. Now through conversations, our thoughts, our ideas. Okay, the Sun brought in light and confidence, and Mercury brings in the voice, the thought, the movement of information perhaps. And the South Node in Virgo is at 18 degrees, okay? And that's a karmic release point if you follow that thinking. But let's apply it here, okay? Because it will show us patterns we've outgrown, okay? Comfort zones where we no longer feel comfortable. Lessons that we've been carrying for too long and we just need to turn it into wisdom and carry on. We don't need to relive at this point. Okay, the Sun shines a spotlight on the old cycles. It illuminates what must be released. And Mercury gives us the words, the thoughts, the insights to process, to articulate it. And everything is being supported by Jupiter in Cancer, showing us that letting go doesn't have to be heavy. It opens the way for expansion, for nourishment, for growth, for successes. A karmic conversation between past lessons, which is the South Node, current awareness, which would be the Sun, and our thoughts, our words, Mercury. And Jupiter's there cheering us on, reminding us that there's more waiting for us right around the corner once we release what no longer fits. So today we may feel like we get the realization of an old pattern. Maybe it's a belief. And it doesn't serve us anymore. We know it doesn't serve us anymore. It's time to change. Time to wear a new pair of shoes. Or we may have a conversation that helps us to finally put something to rest, or it brings in clarity, brings in an aha moment, an epiphany. We might get that moment of clarity where we see how our past has shaped us, but also how it can no longer define who we are and where we're going. And yes, old patterns will probably surface to show us where we need to change the story. In our thoughts, in our words, in our conversations. And our conversations now, they'll carry power. Absolutely. So today we can dream bigger. I feel like I've got Dylan fluff all over me, and we were cuddling just before this, so that's why I feel Dylan fluff. Yeah, today we can dream bigger. Our words will land a little bit better. We're more able to express communication, and communication feels uplifting. This is an excellent time for things like study and sharing wisdom and teaching and writing. And we are far more receptive to new insights under this energy. So today, rewrite the story. Let conversations and insights or realizations, aha moments, epiphanies, allow those things to open doors for you. This is a day to notice what's being said, and not just by others. Okay, what are you talking about? What are you saying to others, to yourself? Today you can choose words that will heal, that can release, that can invite in a future that feels larger, brighter, definitely more successful and joy and love oriented. And this is only part of the journey, right? Because tomorrow the Sun and Mercury will meet in Virgo, right? We'll have a conjunction there, that moment of illumination. So where the clarity we've been preparing for, it will sharply come into focus. So, but I don't want to get carried away and tell you all of tomorrow, okay? So I'll leave it with what begins as a conversation today may just become the revelation of tomorrow. So, well, stay tuned, okay? Let's turn to the cards. Who do we have there? Five of Swords. Okay? There's people in our lives right now that will suck the energy out of us, make us doubt ourselves, criticize us, demean us, or maybe pretend not to see us or hear us. And we need to protect ourselves from that. Okay? One of you left a comment that you were going into work every day under fire, so to speak. So it's really easy to do. And where did I get this from? I got it from Sylvia Brown. And I tried it, I don't know, I don't know, 25 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. I tried it. That might have been 20 years ago. Anyways, I was listening to one of her tapes, and one that I cannot find for the life of me again. I'm starting to think I dreamed it. I had a dream with Sylvia. But what she would always tell you to put yourself in a light white bubble of light, and to see yourself in your mind's eye just surrounded in this bubble of light. Okay? And you ask that ball, that sphere of light that you have recognized around you. You don't really make it. It's there. Even if you can't see it, maybe you feel a tingling over certain parts of your body. You know, your aura is coming alive to show you, but you'll see it in your mind's eye. And ask it to protect you and to bring in love and to bring in happiness and to bring in joy as you go upon your day. And then place mirrors all around you in a circle, like maybe put yourself in a disco ball or something like that, where the mirrors are actually facing outwards. Okay, we don't see ourselves in the mirror, they're facing in the other direction, and they are like a wall of fortitude. Okay, and in this wall of fortitude, nothing can come at us and hurt us. People can try, but it will bounce right back to the source. It goes no further. So where they thought they would undermine you or something, they can't, but they end up being the one who is undermined by you unintentionally. People that are negative in your life will just start to disappear. You'll find that you change your route to work. When did that happen? You stopped talking to somebody for a while. How did that happen? Okay, got off on a tangent there, but and I'll just finish with this before finish the tangent, right? If I'm going to talk all that long, I might as well have something to say at the end of it that wraps it all up. Remember that evil cannot stand to see itself. It is repelled by itself. So when evil comes towards you, when negativity comes towards you, it's bounced away. It turns away. And good attracts good. Love attracts love. Light attracts light. So as you have this wall of mirrors around you and you start doing this on a daily basis in the morning, you will feel more love around you, more love directed to you, and more of a wanting to give love out to the world, to the collective. But you also have to walk with a sense of integrity. You also cannot send out ill messages to people, hoping something bad happens to them, or I hope this goes on in your life, or I hope you see whatever it is that you're sending out there, that negative vibe, or worse, it will bounce back to you. Okay, so just know that if you do something and it's of ill intention, under this kind of magic, this kind of energy that we have to utilize whenever we want. Okay, I'm just going to continue on with the cards now because I just got on a babble. But if you know somebody who needs to know that, definitely share this with them, please. Let them know they're not alone. Man, like 20 years ago, I can tell you, like, undeniably, 10 or 15 moments in my life where it could have been total chaos and crisis in my life, or I just had to wait it out because nothing could harm me, and to believe in that. And the stories would astound you. Okay, the stories would astound you. I kid you not. So, anyways, underlying energy, look at that. We have the high priestess. Know the magic within you. Sit in quiet contemplation. Understand your talents, your abilities, your personality, what makes you you, what makes you unique, your passions, your desires, your heart and curiosity. These are all things that are you and are magical to you if you use them. They can bring in I hear great fortune, so we'll go with great fortune. But I was thinking, it could be in love, it could be in health, it could be in finances, career, whatever. Yeah, and this is the underlying energy. So know that we walk with a sense of magic around us today. That we can call in those favors and they're listening to us and they're doable. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. This is a trust, a faith, a belief in something bigger than yourself. And that could be your higher self, absolutely. We don't have a lunch packed. We're not in armor. We're gazing away at something else completely than where we're going. The horse is guiding us. And so we have to have a faith that so long as we're pointed in the right direction, so long as we have the right intentions, we need not pack a lunch. The lunch will be provided when we need it. Kind of stuff. And to have a trust, a faith that, we don't even have reins on this horse. We have no weapons to protect ourselves. We hold our abundance out in front of us because this kind of abundance cannot be taken away from you. And you know it. You know that you carry an abundance, whether or not it's within your talents, your abilities, your knowledge, your wisdom, whatever it might be. Nobody can take that away from you. So you're going forward with these things, these invaluable qualities. Like, pay attention to that you already have what it takes to do it. You just have to believe that you can do it. Queen of Wands, Queen of Wands. I love the Queen of Wands. I tell ya, she is the judge and jury. She asks the questions. She's very much, they tell me this is a Sag energy, but I see more of a Virgo in her. In the fact that she looks at the details. She doesn't just say yes. She doesn't just say no. She thinks about it. But boy, oh boy, when she comes to that eureka moment, that aha moment, that epiphany, of how to put things together and start upon a new path, usually towards wealth for her kingdom. Whether it's helping people in the community, or building something to create whatever it might be, but it'll also make her wealthy in the process, right? And she gets so enthusiastic about it that she dives into it. And her energy is so enthusiastic, so powerful, that anybody around her wants to be a part of it. And some of them don't even know why. What are we doing? It doesn't matter. Feel the energy. Gosh, I feel good here. Everybody's laughing and carrying on. We're all having a good time, but we're getting something done, something accomplished. And this is what she brings to the atmosphere. So this is telling me that we shouldn't just jump into things with both feet. We should think some things through. I don't think today is, we have that Virgo energy, so we are going to look at the particulars of what is needed and what's not needed, and maybe that is good, but we don't want to get sucked into the mundane. We just need to know that some of this needs to be taken care of so that we really can go forward. Remember, we are moving towards the solar eclipse, okay? So, the Four of Pentacles. So what is it you need to let go of? I heard myself telling a story during my absence that stood out to me, and it was about raising three children on my own while holding down a full time job. Two of them had autism. One of them was supposed to be institutionalized at age 3. I went to school and I studied autism. I got my certification for that, but my kids both got 24/7 and whether or not that was good or bad, I don't know how they enjoyed that, but I tried to make it as fun as possible. And they're both holding management positions today. And so's my daughters. So, um, but I thought that was my story. What is my story now? I really went through a dark night of the soul kind of experience, especially in the first month. And I could allow that to happen because I didn't have the responsibility of being here, of turning my energy in a different way so that I could bring you the messages needed. I needed to turn that energy towards me. What do you need to let go of? What do you cling to? What is your security blanket? Because you don't need it. You can stand in your own independence and realize your dreams, your goals, your desires, your wants, and make them tangible and real. But what is holding you back from taking that step? Is it a fear, an anxiety, what people may think? Because once you figure that out and you start loving yourself a little bit more, the people that will mean the most in your life will support the person you are becoming. Okay. Wow, I'm long-winded today. Sorry, guys. Okay, and we're going to go to this new deck again. Day 2. Nobody really said anything. I said a little bit about it. But we'll give her another spin. Take her out for another drive. Cards are beautiful. I do find the color to be faint for this kind of, and I don't have the best lighting because I don't. So I'm just showing up with a message. Got one card there? Yeah, we do. But I'm liking this deck a lot because guess what I just pulled? The same as yesterday. See the beauty. Did we not get that yesterday? I'm pretty sure we got that yesterday as our card. Gratitude. The sacred is everywhere. So to believe and to be grateful for what you already have and grateful for what is about to come into your life. I don't know. So much has happened since yesterday when we talked. The soul inquiry was, how can you take a moment to notice the beauty that's all around you? What blessings can you appreciate right now in your life? So I'm just going to leave you with that, okay? If you want to go back and hear the whole thing, I read it out yesterday. So now you got a couple of reasons to go back yesterday and just refresh your mind, or maybe you missed yesterday for whatever reason. And that's cool. We all have lives. I get it. Oh, why am I shuffling again? We got to shuffle the animals. That's what we have to shuffle. Huh. Think about what that one meant. Okay, who do we have today? The elephant. Go the extra mile. Oh, Amanda. One day, one day. We go to the elephant. Nurture, productive, communicate, and listen. The purpose of life is not to be happy, but to matter, to be productive, to be useful, to have it make some difference that you have lived. Elephant reminds you that when you feel like quitting, it just means you have some extra steps to take. And many times people set goals and stop in the middle of them, frustrated, but Elephant motivates you to keep going. And it could be an exercise program, a new skill that you want to try, a friend that you've been meaning to call. Elephant teaches us that being gentle, having commitment, and clear communication can help you in your relationships. On the outside, Elephant looks like an intimidating creature, but she's actually a nurturer, wanting everybody to succeed and feel protected. Elephant is also very telepathic, and with the sixth sense can feel the energy around her. With friends, family, and even strangers, she senses dangers, she responds accordingly. Elephant reminds you that you are needed, and how to get a good feel for that. The words may not be spoken. Elephants are large and heavy, but they walk noiselessly and with much grace. So elephant gives you subtle hints that you are needed. So listen to the signals with all your senses. So yeah, self-love. Love yourself. Okay, I'm waiting for my journal so that I can see it and then I can hold up the actual journal. It's for the whole year. It's 365 pages. No, it's 365 days. I think it's 410 pages if I'm not mistaken. So there's full moon and new moon special. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but until everything comes out, and it's in black and white, and it's only in black and white because I tried to go as cheap as possible for you guys to get you the best deal possible. Uh, I hope I've accomplished that. And yeah, it's going to be great. The elephant. Let's get back to you. Okay. But I think, and it's all going to be about choosing yourself. Choosing yourself first. Making yourself the priority. And how to strengthen that each and every day. And with a daily journal, I don't care if you write a chapter in there or you write a sentence in there. But that, just doing that one sentence tells yourself that I'm showing up for me. In this moment, I'm showing up for me. And when you start to get into the habit of realizing that you need to show up for you, because if you go down, everything collapses. Nothing runs smoothly because you are out of the picture. So you have to, in order to be who you want to be to the world, the collective, your family, your friends, your loved ones, you need to take care of you first and foremost. And it's not to have an ego outside of, but to have an ego of you have just as much right as anybody else in the world. Anyways, I'm starting to babble again, so I will call it a day, and until we meet again, remember, I do love you.